Namaste, Jai Bharat. Everyone knows that Pakistan opens their mouth for just two things. One, either to eat or drink, and two, to tell lies. These are the two things they open their mouths for. So Pakistani lies are a common phenomenon with anyone who is slightly knowing them. And Pakistan is scared. Pakistan is scared for a couple of reasons. One, everyone in the world wants to denuclearize Iran. That's everyone in the world, except someone who is quite known to us. And this chance, Israel will ensure that their nuclear capacity is destroyed in toto. And so long as and possibility they look for a regime change. If they are not radical Islam, they will neither go for atomic bombs nor create terrorists. Second thing in Iran is that they are housing terrorists, not just housing like Pakistan. They are housing terrorists on a large scale. They have proxy armies who are literally jihadis, who will fight for whatever Iran says. The criterion is again money. And of course fanaticism, fundamentalism, radical Islam. Well, these things are put together with plenty of money. You get anyone to do anything in this world, in their world, to be more precise. And if this attack on Iran, because Iran is taking heavy punishment, and where our power sources will be attacked, their movements will be checked and where necessary attacked, and their nuclear facilities will be identified and attacked, and that goes on. They will retaliate. They will retaliate so violently because that's a desperate, very last attempt for the survivals of the jihadis and radicals, or radicals and jihadis. They ultimately become one and the same. Now Pakistan is getting scared because all the negative points with Iran are already present in Pakistan. Only thing is, Iran is in a macro level which is very visible, and Pakistan is in a micro level which is more intense, but not that visible to the world. Pakistan makes others happy, at least temporarily, and of course they can only make people happy temporarily with the small gimmicks, techniques and lies, and speaking of the impossible, non-existent things which we in Bharat called as Lahori character, etc. They have dragged themselves to the United Nations. See, this is the drama. This is the Pakistani drama. This is another Pakistani lies. And this is another archetypical deception which Pakistan does, and betrayal which Pakistan does to people. They go to United Nations and makes a proposal, request, etc. that why America had to attack Iran at all? Because the peace talks were going on, they were progressing. Actually, it's a lie. The peace process were not progressing. Two talks which were held in this place. What is it? Just went out of my mind. Two talks which were held in Geneva. Gaza came to my mind. That's why. Two talks they held with all kinds of rhetorics and decorative discussions outside. One lasted for 15 minutes. It means somebody must have said something, other people just walked out. And the second session of the same talk stood for 20 minutes. So it's very obvious and evident that nobody is going to reach anywhere because these people are stubborn. They are not going to give in. Iran is not going to give in. And The US must have really asked, probably, which may be right also. Some news is there that you have to hand over all your nuclear things to US. Well, and all the nuclear enriched uranium, fluids, things concerned with that must be handed over to the US. I don't like US taking it, but then who else? We don't want it. Even if we get it, we don't want it because the blame goes on in our history. But then US will take it, let them keep it. And nor Israel will want it. So US, of course, is the best option. Hand it over to them. There's one of the points which they wanted to talk, and that was absolutely impossible from the perspective of Iran. They cannot do that, and they will not do it. They still hope, like Pakistan playing cricket with Bharat. They till the last moment say Bharat will be out for 0. Nisho's hand like this, 0. And then after the match they lose and they get kicked out of cricket, at least given any particular match. They will start crying, they will start breaking TVs, they will start beating one another, and they will start using such words which are normally not in the dictionary about their cricket players. And everyone except they themselves, he himself, the person who speaks. So this is something which is common with the Iranians also. They will not realize. They will continue doing whichever rubbish they repeat. They don't see beyond their noses to understand the possible consequences of, because they are not concerned. They are none of the radicals anywhere on the surface of the earth are neither concerned with the land. They have no love for the land because they love the land after death. They call it as Jannat, and they have no welfare thoughts towards the people who are getting affected. These two things are absent. Once these two things are absent, it is common with any radical regime. They will not stop. They are obstinate like a mule. They will not stop. So the only possible alternative is you can't get them to the civilized existence. Even if somebody comes temporarily, given the first opportunity, he will jump out of it. So you can do nothing with such society, you can do nothing with such attitude, and you can do nothing with peace, with such orientation and such training which they must have been getting right from their childhood. So Pakistan is another example. Whatever drawbacks you find in Iran, you can find the same thing in Pakistan. Some people at least must have thought Pakistan is scared. There are people who still fear. There are people in Pakistan who still think and get feared, get afraid of things. These things are common with Iran and Pakistan. I told you Iran is in macro level, Pakistan is in micro level, but Pakistan is very concentrated in their poisonous nature as compared to Iran. They are at least a civilization. These people have nothing. Their civilization is supposed to be connected to the civilization of my nation, which they have disowned for the sake of radical Islam. Now, if they don't please the world, they have problems. But they cannot support America. They have to explicitly oppose America, because tomorrow Israel is going to get America with them and attack Pakistan, because they are the only ones in the so-called Islamic world with a finished, completed nuclear arsenal, which somebody must have given them, etc. or not, but then the world cannot take the risk. Jihadis would do anything, because jihadis are not connected to the land, not connected to the culture, not connected to the people. So whatever happens to land, culture and people, they just don't bother, because they are so sure of a wonderful life after death. You cannot do anything because they are so convinced. So whatever happens to Iran is likely to happen to Pakistan, so Pakistan is scared. And this fear makes them go to the UN and speak against the US, which is unthinkable. The way they had been looking, they had been playing it maybe a little more decent. They had been playing like puppets at the hands of the US, letting them use whatever you want from me. And now Pakistan is evolving into a different strategy. They're trying to evolve. They're trying to unite the Islamic nations by opposing America. That is why they opposed America in the United Nations. They are trying to get a good feel among the Islamic nations, and the Islamic nations, in spite of knowing what really Pakistan is, would stand by them at least for the time being. So this time is more precious to Pakistan because by then they would become an Islamic leader. Saudi Arabia is already technically Islamic leader, all right, and Erdogan, Turkey, wanted to become a Khalifa-like Islamic leader, but it doesn't work out. It had not worked out. Saudis, of course, to some great extent it works out because the Holy Land Service them. So Saudi still commands a soft corner, but they are not involved in anything destructive. They normally look up for themselves and they won't involve with others. But Pakistan wanted to replace an Islamic world's leadership. So Pakistan is trying to be post themselves as strong with a nuclear weapon in their hand, nuclear facilities in their hand, and they can nuke anyone when needed. So the Pakistan wants the Islamic world to be with them and then subsequently under their command. So they started this drama. How they will be successful, rather how far they will be successful, and how other Islamic nations would react are all left to speculation. No point in speculating right now. But even in spite of Islamic nations knowing the treacherous DNA of Pakistan, they will stand by Pakistan if the question of radical Islam or the oneness of Ummah, they call oneness of Islam is brought into question. There are radicals everywhere, and those radicals, those who with a bent towards radicals, would at least temporarily be with Pakistan, and that time is sufficient for Pakistan to build. They have nothing, they don't make anything. They had been thriving on loans and borrowing and this thing and that thing and all the zakat, as they say, free gifts, and they will now get money. If they become Islamic head, they will get maintenance money or something like a privileged purse from others, all others, and the others are very rich, and then Pakistan can go and live in luxury. This idea is what makes them to go and speak against US in UN, playing already a dangerous game, and on top of it another dangerous game. Initially they went and prostrated in front of US. Whatever you say, you are master, you are my master, you are my master. Whatever you say, I am doing it naturally, obviously, etc. And now USA will one or the other day will attack Pakistan, possibly. That's what some people say. I don't know how feasible it is, but then people say that. Then Pakistan will have to be the Islamic leader with the nuclear bomb. That's the only strong point with them. And if Iran, when it is denuclearized, the next automatic natural demand shall be to denuclearize Pakistan, another radical Islamic country. That is impending. Before that, they have to do this master, become this master, so that other Islamic nations shall stand with them. This is the stupid calculations of Pakistan. I say stupid calculations because they do only such stupid calculations. These are the stupid calculations of Pakistan. Let's wait and see how things in the world. Geopolitics is hopelessly uncertain these days. Very hopelessly uncertain these days. People are disturbed, dragged, troubled, pained, killed. No, everything. We shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Siya Ram.